Alright, I have left the home and now it is time to find Wat Sao Hin. My wife said Hin is something like rock and uh, Sao is like mortar and pestle maybe? I'm not sure. We'll have to do some more digging. It is around 4:30 or nearing 4:30 and there'll be a lot more traffic just because people are getting off work. Jokingly, this bridge off to the left I have always called C0ck Bridge, mainly because it was just filled with chickens, roosters. And one day, magically, every single one of them disappeared, and I don't know why. The story goes, the university that's around the corner, the Narasuan University, that used to be an old king of Thailand, actually one from the Phitsanulok area. And I guess he was really fond of like roosters, like for cockfighting and whatnot. So I think a lot of the students, when they get ready to graduate or something like that, they will deposit a rooster on that bridge. So I don't know what it's supposed to do. Like I said, there haven't been any of those roosters for a very long time. Probably, or at least a year, I would say. For as long as we've been living in the house. So the temple that we're going to today, it is very unique. I spotted it from the main road. This is actually the back road. Because it is completely white. And so as I'm driving down that back, or the main road, the one that hugs the levee, actually it is the levee, the road is on top of the levee. I spotted it off to my left-hand side, probably traveling in between Phitsanulok and Pitchit, and I was like, that's a temple, and it's all white. The only other all-white temple that I'm aware of is the one that's in north in Chiang Rai. And technically there's one down the street from our other home, but I guess the main Ubosot is just white and everything else is not. But this one, it's dominated by white. Now, it's not as, I would say, as creepy as the one in Chiang Mai. And if you've ever been to the one in Chiang Mai, you'll know what I mean by calling it creepy. I have to make sure that when I ride on my motorbike, I'm not slouching. I tend to slouch, which is not good. I think instinctually I slouch because I want to lower my center of gravity, so I don't fall. So I am speaking to you through the Cardo Spirit HD. I tried to connect this up to the Ace Pro. One video that I watched just a moment ago said, it'll work, everything's great. But it didn't. So yeah, I'm doing a voice recorder to my phone, and sync everything up in post. So I actually see the temple off to my left here behind these trees, and there's a large van that's going to be passing me in a second. And we are here. That was actually much, much quicker than 10 minutes. That's the one thing that I'm discovering with Google. Google doesn't always tell you factual information, and I wasn't driving that fast, so again, this is the second time now that I've been here. The first time that I was here, actually through this grass, we didn't know where the main entrance of the temple was, so I ended up just plowing my car through the grass. So I'm going around the outskirts. You probably already noticed the main selling feature of this temple is there are 1,000,000 standing Buddha statues, and it looks like I cannot enter this way. Looks like they're doing some construction over here. So I will pull around, disconnect the camera. I guess I'll leave my helmet still on. Maybe not. I'm going to take a wild guess. Some of these statues have little plaques at the bottom, and I think if you were like a person who donated a ton of money, you may have adopted one of these statues. Just a wild guess. Okay, I'm gonna just park the vehicle here. Alright, I will take my shoes off just because I know that's like usually the proper thing to do, but alright, let's walk around this. I do have a little selfie stick, but I decided not to bring it. Well, the pigeons definitely like this temple, just like they like our home. If anybody knows how many statues of Buddha there are, I would love to know, because there's like 1,000,000,000,000 of them. Okay, I said 1,000,000 before, but that is actually a really cool photo. I love it. The clouds behind. So again, you can see some of those names. I hope they're not burial chambers. I'll have to ask my wife to translate one of these. But you never know. I haven't seen the typical like location where they put the urns. I will definitely have to wash my feet after this because the ground is got some stuff all over it. It's not super dark concrete, so it's picked up some of the heat, but it's not super hot. That is so cool. Look at all those Buddhas. It's an army. All right, got my shoes. I mean, look at that. So that's an older style. That style is more like the Khmer style, where they've got the architecture like that. And I would say that is definitely more Thai style. All right, gonna haul back onto the motorbike and just drive over to the next spot. Oh, here's that field that I was talking about. I kind of drove straight that way and cut across because we didn't realize the main entrance was over here. Right over here. Um, there's an entrance actually on the other side, but you saw that it was blocked off here. So let's take a look at this. Here we go. Same deal. I will take my shoes off when I get closer to the structure. I know a lot of times people, when they are doing their prayers and such, they'll walk around 3 times. Hopefully this, like, nobody starts running. No, you can't go up there. Oh. Okay, here we go. All right, I will not go all the way to the top because there's a lot of bird poopy. I will try to see if I can find any information on the temple, a website or something to that effect. This ground is a little bit darker, and as such, I could feel a lot more of the heat. It looks like they're putting down some nice little tile here. That's kind of cool. Maybe that's the main entrance. It's got some stuff. Look, wooden doors inside. Over there, there's the other road that goes around. That's interesting. Looks like so a lot of times when they build a new temple structure, they'll have a little place where you can donate money. And when you donate the money, they'll give you some artifact, and they'll keep the artifact. They'll put your name on it, or with a pen or a paint pen, marker, whatever, and they will integrate that artifact that you've just purchased as part of the magical items that seed the temple. And so I don't know if this is the case where people have donated and purchased these items because they look wrapped in plastic and they go way back inside there. I don't know if they just threw them in there, but there's a whole bunch of them. So I would think that eventually they will seal that up. I hope nobody was trying to thieve anything from there, because I know in some of the older temples, um, like Sukhothai, Ayutthaya, probably some stuff that's in the Chiang Mai region. Again, there's some really old religious artifacts that are buried inside the temple structures. And hey, that's me. I don't know if you can see me if I'm in focus. I know this camera doesn't have great focus when it's close to you. But yeah, people they'll dig up these temples and they'll pillage from them and sell them for personal profit. Obviously, the Thai government frowns upon that highly, and I frown upon it highly. But I think in this particular case, people just bought these artifacts and they put them inside, and eventually they will seal it up and just say this is a magical place for people to visit. So let's explore a little bit more. You're locked in. It's hot, so if you hear me like breathing and kind of winded, I don't have any water with me, but I am very close to home, so that's not a problem. I have one of these quad locks. Sometimes if I don't get it just right, it takes forever just to get the thing to mate with the lock and the case, but whatever. All right, we're in gear. I'm not very good at low gear. I will not walk around this building, but I'll explain a little bit about what it is. I'm just trying to get a good angle for the camera. It's mounted on the front of the motorbike. But this particular building, basically it's when somebody passes away, they do their ceremony. Here, let me kill that. So when they do their ceremony, one of the last steps when somebody passes away is they'll take them over to this particular building, and they'll have people, usher past a coffin, and eventually that coffin is led into the heart of the building, where you see over here, there's the smokestack. So this is where they cremate people. Oh, I guess it's a crematory. That's probably the better name for it. So they will cremate people here, and then eventually people will pick up the ashes and either take them to their little family resting spot, or distribute amongst the countryside, waters, whatever. So again, with this particular temple, compared to some of the other temples that have had a white building, the majority of these buildings are all white. So we've got 1, 2, 3. There's probably a hall where the monks stay that is also white, and there's some buildings behind, which I'll drive that way, that also is white. So yeah, white temple, pretty cool. Like I said, it's a rare thing in Thailand. A lot of the temples that I've been to have a lot of color, or they're gold colored, but this is just a very simple white. And it is overcast, but I'm sure if it was like a cloud-free day, this white would just be gleaming, probably more so than a gold temple. That white color just it would reflect all the sun's energy straight back at you, almost as if it's, part of heaven itself, I guess. I have not seen anybody, other than on the outskirt road, there was a person on a motorbike. So I haven't seen any monks or anything like that. So let's get this thing fired back up. we have to do that? Anyway. Don't, you probably can't see all of it. I'll pull up and stop the motorbike here, but how about do it in the shade? That might be better. All right, disconnecting the camera. Oh, okay. All right, so this is under construction, and you can see, pretty cool. Oh boy, those metal, it's like, you saw those, when the monks go around in the morning, they'll have like a little satchel or some sort of strap that will hold one of those metal bowls. And basically, this is like 6 o'clock in the morning. People go out the front of their homes as the monk passes by. They'll put food in there, so that will be the food for the monks to eat for the day. Those bowls are huge, so you could probably fit enough food for the whole village. They're massive. Um, but you'll see each one of these has a smaller bowl, and again, it's got somebody's name on it. So chances are this is some sort of donation. Again, I'm guessing. But here you got one of those big ones, just massive. I don't like. Are they just sitting in there, resting in there, or are they strapped down? Well, I don't want to move one, but there's a lid missing on that one, so maybe and they're all not level either. So yeah, maybe you can remove them. Not that I want to remove them, but maybe with a big storm, the sucker will just blow away. I hope not. I mean, these guys probably weigh, 50 pounds. They're huge. So it'd be one heck of a storm to, want to throw one of those out of the hands of the Buddha. Oh, you know what? I'm recording this audio from the Cardo unit to my phone. And if I want it still to work, I kind of need my phone. And hopefully it did not give up on me. And it's still recording. Oh, yeah. Good. Okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, if there's a large storm, hopefully one of those bowls doesn't get shot out from the hands of Buddha. Actually, it is kind of cool because you can see a reflection back down onto the earth. Wow, neat. So I'm going to say that building over there is probably the residence hall for the monks. Just a wild guess. I only conclude that just because I see curtains on the windows. But then again, it could be just a fancy temple, a fancy Ubosot. Ooh, this is interesting. That, now I'm really going to have to look this temple up. So that type of stonework there is typical of like the older temples. So does this temple have maybe roots in, some of the ancient times back when uh, Phitsanulok was the capital? I mean, is this 3, 4, 500 years old? Because that's like that volcanic rock that they use. That's typical of the older temples when they're constructed. But that's cool. It's like an obelisk kind of thing. Oh, look at the lens flare. That's awesome. And I mean, just look how many Buddhas there are. So interesting. So they do have some gold Buddha statues. So there's a little splash of color. There's a silver one. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So one of my questions is, all of these Buddha statues, did somebody make them remotely and then truck all of them into the site? Or do they actually handcraft them here, with materials, concrete, whatever, have a mold that they just pour and, when the concrete dries or stucco, whatever it is, and then they just lift it out and boom. But again, how long does it take to make one of these? They just have so many of them, just so many of them. Well, I can't drive around that way because I've got it blocked off, even though the road is like a giant U. But that's okay. Kind of get the gist of it. That's lovely. This little lamppost, one of these mythical creatures holding up the light itself. I bet it's beautiful at night. So, yeah, it's still working on it. I'd like to see what it looks like when it's actually done, and will people be able to go in there? Also, will it be seated with all kinds of different magical items, that somebody can purchase? So there weren't any signs that kind of gave a roadmap like the one in the one on top of the mountain in Phetchabun. It had a big sign that kind of showed what the grand plans were. It's okay. Lovely. Just amazing. This is why I love Thailand. You just have such variety. Okay, hey, thanks for coming along with me on this adventure. This thing was less than 10 minutes away from home. I'm okay with that. I was actually getting ready for a longer drive, but this is pretty short. Now I gotta charge the camera back up, and I will try to do another couple videos tonight. So I'll have something for you all to watch. All right, again, don't work too hard. Enjoy life because we've only got one, and I will see you on the next adventure. See you later. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please click one of the video links below or click the playlist.